right, well, good afternoon, everyone. I've got lots of spaces open up front right here. Oh, come on now, I don't bite. Do I have to hide things underneath the chairs to entice people to come in? That'll work, huh? Well, good afternoon. I am Catherine LeClaire, Executive Director here at Matthews Glen. I have John Ferris with me as well, General Manager and Director of Hospitality. We have a packed agenda, so I appreciate you all being here, and we will get right into it. As you can see, let's go. Oh, there we go. All right. You can see on our agenda, we have a packed agenda. We're going to start with an opening prayer. We have Sarah Stubbs here. We'll talk about a mission moment, some phase 2 updates, discuss a little bit about the gazebo, the resident check-in, updates from the wellness office and the flu and COVID clinic, great winter roundup, the Echo device, dining, and then some community updates as well. So Sarah, if you would like to come on up.
Hey everybody, would you bow in prayer with me? God, today I offer thanks for this Matthews Glen community, for all who call this place home, and for all who have chosen to work here. I see the way neighbors care for neighbors and how staff and residents care for one another every day here. And I'm filled with gratitude for the depth of relationships that exist among us. Help us always build bridges to one another, and help us to continue growing our ability to do good for this community and beyond. Surround us with grace as we meet together now. Amen.
Thank you, Sarah, very much for those words. Mission moment, you know that I like to kind of highlight the acts of loving kindness that I see going on here at Matthews Glen, and I think a big one was the Matthews Glen Cabaret. And I have to give a shout out to Lou Roberts, who spearheaded that endeavor. If you weren't able to be present, it is up on K4, so you can watch it and watch it repeatedly. You can share it with your friends, share it with your family, and show how much fun we have here. What a great collaboration of resident and staff to see so many unique individuals coming up and doing what they did. It was really, really incredible, and I was so proud to be part of that both evenings. So I think it was just really, really wonderful. So thank you, Lou, for everything that you've done. I don't know how we can top that, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know. But, I look forward to next year's endeavors as we get through that. But, yeah, what a great night. Both nights, great nights. I have with us Vincent Uliano, Vince, and Tara Merrick. Vince is Director of Special Projects. He replaced Chris Herman, and Tara has been with us for several months now. She replaced Patty Mungo, who was in her position previously. But if you'd like to come on up and give a little bit of an overview of where we're at for Phase 2, please.
So, thank you for inviting me.
And give a little bit about yourself, too. Give a little brief overview of yourself, because they don't know who you are.
I'm Vince. All right, that's very nice. I have a sense of humor, so you can punish me if it's a little bit too much. And I'm very comfortable the seating arrangement, because it gives me a lot of moving room. Because after all, I do oversee the construction projects for a lot of acts, so they're always challenging. So I like the distance. But anyway, I've been with ACTS just about 8 years now. I run the construction projects up in the Northeast area for the most part. To Catherine's point, I'm replacing Chris, but I'm really not replacing Chris, because Chris, it was a tough act to follow. But I do oversee special projects. This is considered a special project, and since Chris has vacated, they've put me here. So I'm here 3 days a week, Tuesday to Thursday, until the fruition of the project. My whole background has been construction. And again, like I said, I've been with ACTS for 8 years on the real estate side. Other than that, I got a couple kids. I live outside of Philadelphia. And, a couple cute thing, well, I guess it's cute, it's hard to say. I have a very Philadelphian personality too, so the contractors, I've had two comments. One with the contractor's like, I can't do the Southern accent. He's like, we're not gonna hold it against you that you're from up north, right? I'm like, okay. And the other time when we're in the middle of a conversation and the guy's like, we don't move at the same pace you're moving right now, so you're gonna have to adjust. But my comment back to him, do we have any residents here that are moving into phase 2? Okay, that's safe. But what I told them is, I'm still moving at the pace. I said, our residents phase 2 are southern, and I'm moving at their pace. So I had to tease them back a little bit. In short, phase 2 is moving along. I've got a crash course, been here for just about 3 weeks now. I'm used to crash courses, so I am catching up to speed. I don't have all pertinent information, but I am working hard and diligently, and the contractors are getting used to me, and they're getting the information that I require. So I can answer any generic questions you have. I will tell you what I know. I'll tell you what I don't know, and I will also tell you in a reasonable amount of time what information I will have that I can share, if that's reasonable enough. Phase 2 is moving along. The villas, the apartments, they're scheduled, technically, they're scheduled from mid-November, moving into late March into April. That's a rough schedule. The construction, I'm having the contractors update me next week on their physical schedules on when the building will be done, when the actual building will be done. But that's not the whole scenario. I have issues with a power company, Duke Power. And until I get all the power in place, I can have these buildings done, but we can't move in. And that is a major, major push we've been on. We're making progress, but we're not there. So we will update people as we go along with a caveat of where I'm at. You'll know where I'm at, and you'll know my anticipation and when I'll get back to you. I plan on doing updates periodically. We're still going over that. We'll establish next week. Other than that, the buildings are beautiful. I don't know. And I think they're also probably a concern, but not a concern, but would also direct pickleball court. People are interested in the pickleball court. Well, I don't have much information. But I am working on it. What I tell you that the pickleball court's in progress. The contractors are also going to get back to me. I think there's a generic schedule that made it that it was going to be sometime in November. Does that seem correct? Has anybody gotten that schedule? Yeah, I like this woman. She's shaking her head no. When do you think it was ready? It was August. 24? I'm good with that. We're good. That I can tell you is going to happen. I'll put a generator out there if I have to, but that I'll tell you it'll happen. Schedules, unfortunately, in my world, in the real estate and construction world, schedules are always being put out there, and they are generically put out there. I will work on a schedule. I will get that schedule update. It's obviously not August. My best scenario, from what I noticed just from my experience in looking at it, I will definitely try to get this thing in and operating by the end of this year, which is December. But I can't make any kind of commitment to that yet. I plan to make a better, stronger commitment within probably 2 weeks. I'll be able to have a better feel for that. I've been doing a little bit of a crash course on Duke Power, but I will get back to you. But I know it's in progress. Is there any questions that I don't see a hand up. I do. Yes, sir.
Hold on, Max. Wait.
Do you want me to bring?
No, she'll get it. Thank you.
One mic would have been enough.
They are. It's a race to see who gets there first. I think Bruce won. And Shirley to the rescue. Kevin?
Are the Mike crew part of the real estate department? Because you're fitting in real good with my team. We're working on it. Promise you we'll get it working.
Hello. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Forgive me, this might be a silly question, but still, I would like to have an answer. When we moved in 2017, I noticed, I'm talking about the apartment buildings now, I noticed that some windows have this artificial shutters.
Hold the mic up.
Artificial shutters. Can you tell me what is the architectural and ethical value of these dumb artificial shutters? And I'm not sure whether you will have the same here on the new buildings, but this is purely a waste of money and doesn't have any architectural value. I mean, way back, of course, we had the real shutters, well, with the hinges, but then it became tradition to put these artificial shutters, plumb, next to the windows, if they fit, yeah? So tell me about this artificial,
Stuff.
wasteful shutters. And here again, you know, forgive me this dumb question, but...
No, it's not a dumb question. The answer is good. Look, that's a great question. The answer might be a different story. I don't really know what the stuff is, but meaning I'm not quite sure what we're talking about. There's overhangs. There's in my world, stuff. When we comment on stuff like that, it's an architectural statement. So some things frustrate me also. Sometimes I'm basically a purist on the construction side. I think everything should have a function. Everything. The problem is it's tough especially on the residential side, for architects to design a new wheel. Commercial, they got a lot of flexibility, but on residential stuff, so a lot of times architects throw things in design because it looks good. They like it. It doesn't always mean it's functional. And sometimes I'll drive through by houses like, so you'll see a house in a development with you'll see a garage and you'll see doors above the garage. It's an A roof, right? And you see these double doors and you'll see 4x4, 6x6 posts sticking out. The doors are fake, the posts. It is to replicate, because they made the house look like a farmhouse, it is to replicate that the idea, you open those doors, drop it down, take the hay, put it up and store it up in the attic. It's a house in a residential development. There's a bedroom in there. So, and the doors are fake. So I see that all the time. I understand your frustration. I don't know the answer. I'll take a look. Is it on the gable ends? But it'll be an architectural statement. I know it's a terrible answer, but it's probably pretty accurate. Any other questions?
Thank you, Vince.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vince, very much. Give us some insight to what's going on in Phase 2. The pickleballs will be here by the end of the year. That's what I heard. 2023. Oh, the gazebo. Who's been out to the gazebo? Oh, man, if you haven't been out there, take a look. It's beautiful. It's so pleasant, especially on a day like today, to just sit out there. You've got the fountain going. There's furniture in there. We still have some final touches for it. There's a fan that's going to be put in, and there's a few things that we just need to firm up. But we are going to be having a ribbon cutting ceremony on Monday, November 6th at 2:30 out at the gazebo. So please be sure you can RSVP on K4, just so we can kind of plan for how many people will be there. It'll be a great opportunity. And thanks to all of the residents who donated for this project. It really is a great gazebo. It's beautiful. Resident check-in. I just wanted to remind residents that we have a process here at Matthews Glen, and it's standard across the company, that you have the option to opt in or opt out to a program that in your apartment you will have a device that when you get up, it's typically in your kitchen, some people like to put it in the bathroom, but when you get up and there's movement, it indicates to us that you're okay. If there's no movement, we get a list from the system that will say there's been no activity during this time, and we check on residents. Even if you decided when you first moved in, I'm going to opt out, I'm fine, I don't have any issues. I'm going to opt out. If you want to opt in now, you still have that opportunity. I strongly suggest it. You have nothing to lose by it. This information isn't going anywhere. It just triggers to us so that we can check on you. If you don't have this in place, we're not necessarily going to check on you. And it really is just a way to safeguard. We do have forms out on the back here today. I asked that we bring some forms in case anyone decided that they want to opt into the program. Please fill it out. You can leave it for Teresa or give it to one of us. If you decide at a future date, you can stop by the front desks. They all have the form, and we'll get the system set up for you. Again, I strongly encourage you to do it. I think it's a great opportunity just to make sure that you're okay. And I kind of highlighted the process here. So, the wellness office. So next I'm going to introduce Dr. L'Oreal Anderson. She is our nurse practitioner here at Matthews Glen. I'm very excited that she is with us. And she can introduce herself and talk a little bit about herself and talk about their flu clinic and COVID clinic coming up, as well as the wellness office and what we can offer. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm L'Oreal Anderson, and I'm the new nurse practitioner here at the Pavilion Wellness Office. We do have a wellness office that's here on the clubhouse side, and we'll have a nurse practitioner that will be here part-time soon, hopefully in the next month or so. I just want to give you a little bit of my history and background. I earned a Master of Science in Nursing from Vanderbilt University, where I actually was able to finish that with a scholarship I earned from the Air Force. So I became a nurse practitioner then in 2011, and then I went on to pursue my Doctor of Nursing practice and I finished in 2021 while I was still active duty. So a lot of people, which one do I push for this? Down, okay. So I'm gonna move on over just so that people can understand. A lot of people don't know the difference between a nurse practitioner and a physician. So the schooling is a little bit different. Nurse practitioners don't go to school as long as physicians, but we are able to do very similar tasks as providers. So I've had listed up here what we can do. As a nurse practitioner, I can order and interpret tests, I can order labs, I can order RADs like ultrasounds, CT scans, MRIs. I can also diagnose and treat, I can prescribe medications, I can refer you to specialty offices. We can refer you to physical therapy, we can refer you to like behavioral health if you need those types of things as well. We provide counseling, education, things like that. So pretty much anything that you would need, I can handle as a nurse practitioner. And I think a lot of people are not sure what we're capable of. And I think that as myself and the new nurse practitioner kind of get acclimated to the area and get ourselves into the clinic and knowing all of these acronyms and all of that good stuff that I'm still learning, we will be able to provide for you all of your primary care and acute care needs. My goal is to have as many residents as possible to stay with us because we're just a couple of steps away, either here at the clubhouse or on the pavilion side. You don't have to worry about transportation, any of that stuff. We can take care of you physically here. We're also working on opening up what we have available for acute needs. So say you have urinary symptoms and you want a urinalysis, those are things that we're trying to put in place to be able to do here in-house for you all. In addition to things like, COVID testing and flu testing, if you have the sniffles, if you're needing blood pressure checks, things like that, we have nurses available to take care of those things. Okay, so when it comes to the flu clinic, we had to make a bit of a change for the clubhouse residents because of a conflict with this space. So we moved it from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. We would ask, just to prevent long wait times, if the buildings that are listed above, like you come at those specific times, just to prevent long lines. I understand last year was a bit chaotic, so we're trying to prevent that this year by splitting up the residential areas and allowing the clubhouse residents to stay on the clubhouse side so that you don't have to travel across the street for your vaccine. And then we have 2 days for the pavilion side. So we would really like it if you all could contact the wellness office to let us know your intent to be vaccinated for both the flu and COVID, so that we can prepare for your arrival. When it comes to the COVID vaccine, we are utilizing an outside pharmacy, Pineville Pharmacy, and they will be here on November 14th. They will be at the Pavilion Theater for the times listed above. We do ask that when you show up for that vaccine, you bring your insurance information with you, because they will be conducting the billing and taking all that information. It would be helpful if you could bring it to the flu clinics as well, because we have a new system that we're using and need to input your information there so that we can get everything in the system correctly. So it would be very helpful if you can bring it then too. But as with the flu vaccine, please contact the wellness office to let us know if you want a COVID vaccine, so that we can prep them with the proper numbers, so they can bring enough vaccine. They did tell us that if you miss the residential flu vaccine dates, that you are able to get a flu vaccine with them as well. So just let us know if you'd like to come to those clinics.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, there's a question.
Oh.
Okay. I didn't know if I could ask questions.
Will we just have Moderna, or will we have Moderna and Pfizer?
I can get back to you with that answer. I don't know which one they have available, but I can definitely get that sent out to you all.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to Pfizer because I had a bad reaction to the other.
I understand. I did too, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions while I'm still here? No. Oh, one thing that I can tell you now that I forgot. Currently, I'm in the process of being credentialed with all of the insurance companies, but right now for primary care, I can take care of residents who have traditional Medicare. We're working on all the others to include Humana and TRICARE and United Healthcare, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So eventually I will be credentialed with all of those insurance companies, so we will be able to take care of you here in-house. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, L'Oreal. Much appreciated. Yes, and welcome. All right, next I think I have Sarah going to come up and talk about the Great Winter Roundup. Exciting.
The Chaplains Council is sponsoring a collection of winter accessories for children. We did something similar last year, but we included children and adults. This year we're focusing on children because our partner in the project, the Matthews Help Center, asked us, they said that was their biggest need. And so we are looking for donations of socks, gloves, hats, scarves, mittens, and sweaters. If you have any of those items, they did ask that any of the items be new and just keep the tags on it. You don't have to take it out of the packaging. You don't have to cut anything off. It does not have to be wrapped. Isn't it nice to buy a holiday gift that does not have to be wrapped? And so there will be collection bins available here in the clubhouse lobby and the Chaplain Pavilion. The members of the Chaplains Council wanted me to let you know also that if you are unable to shop but would like to participate, you can always write a check to the Matthews Help Center, and it all goes for their winter assistance programs. They help a lot of families in November and December. And so we thank you for your support. We love the Matthews Help Center. They make such a difference in our community. And it's really interesting, the first time we did this project last year, I learned and did not know that one of our residents, June Hamrick, was one of the original founders of the Matthews Help Center. It grew out of the Matthews Women's Club, and she was a part of that. And so and when we've had the director of the Senator come to Vespers, when we've presented the items to her, we've made that connection with June, and she's been so excited to do that. So we have a Matthews Glen connection to the Help Center, plus we have residents that volunteer there. So anyway, you will see information on K4 about that, and we're going to be doing our collections between November 6th and 20th. And so start looking for those items in the store, and thank you for your support. If you have any questions, you can check in with Chaplain Matt or me, and I thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That's great stuff. I love that. Next, I was going to talk a little bit about the Echo device. Thank you. Who here has an Alexa? Me included. Do you ever sometimes, I have Siri in here, I have Alexa, and sometimes I'll talk to Alexa and say, hey Siri, and I'm like, no, I gotta say, hey. No one else does that? Okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we are going to introduce another device, the Echo. The Echo is something that is similar to Alexa in that you can prompt it to give you information. So some examples of things that Echo can do. Echo, you can have Echo call the front desk. We're going to provide a listing of different numbers that it can call, so it can call different things. You can also ask it, what are today's events? What's the weather today? What's the weather tomorrow? What day is today? What time is it? You can ask it to play music. You can even ask, if you respond in K4 to events that you're going to attend, you can ask it to list the events that you are attending. So it really is a great tool to use connected to K4. So we met yesterday. Mike Falcone came to the community and met with the communications group. We have some tweaks that we want to do with the device, and we're looking at that, but we plan to roll it out in November, and I highly encourage everybody to use it. It's very easy. It's similar to, Alexa in terms of it's not hearing you and recording you, but it does respond to you and respond with information, which will be really helpful. So I'm really excited about that. We were using it at Heron Point, and residents really liked it. It was we actually rolled it out at the same time with the K4 Connect. You all, I think, had a pilot here a while ago where we do have some residents who had been utilizing it, which was good, and now we want to get it out to the rest of the residents. So good stuff. Next up, dining, and I'm going to have John come up and talk about dining.
Good afternoon. So sharing some information on behalf of Culinary as we head into the holidays, but the Thanksgiving and Christmas catered meal is available for pre-order. It includes either your choice of roasted turkey with gravy or maple bourbon glazed ham. You get 5 sides and a choice of pie. It's $140 and serves 8 guests. And if you order for Thanksgiving by the 17th or Christmas by the 18th, you'll be able to have it come, including with all the instructions to reheat, but just a chance to save yourself the work for the holidays. And that can be through Joseph or MG Culinary will also get you to that resource. We've put a focus on driving feedback from guests, both by comment cards and by emails, and we've had a significant increase in comments received, which is huge. Gives us the good, the bad, the ugly, what we like, what we don't like, things for improvement. You can see we're up to 270 responses for the month of September, which is 150% more than where we started back in January. So thank you for sharing. The more information we get, the better it is. And sometimes there's one-offs, and when there's data that indicates that there's a similar concern, either by outlet or by meal period or by product, it gives us a lot more to go on. We do also read the paper comments, so if you're more comfortable, we pull those every few days to make sure that they're included in this count. We were asked how many of those 270 were positive, and it's 165 or so were praised either for food or for some of our great servers. And about 91 or so were some constructive feedback either about food quality or timeliness of service. A few reservation comments, but reservation comments have dropped off significantly. And then last but not least for dining, holiday floor parties can be booked starting on the 1st of November, so next week. And you can either do potluck. There's been a few requests for potluck. We'll set the room the same way. Or you can have this great menu that Chef Michael has developed for you and your floor. And again, MG Culinary Teams at axlife.org is your way to make a reservation, and Joseph will get back to you with if that date's available, what room's available, and we'll do our best to accommodate your room preference and date. That's all from culinary. I will say, from a reservation perspective, we are seeing a huge amount of cancellations, so about 35%, which is great, because they're canceling ahead of time, right? So instead of no-shows, we've gone from 35% no-shows to 35% cancellations, which is significant. It's allowed other residents to make reservations. It's allowed people to get times that may be more preferential for what they're looking for, but a drastic improvement. So thank you to you and your fellow residents for heeding the advice of just cancel. It's okay. We don't get upset. You'll actually make somebody else's day if we have a cancellation. So great improvement there. So thank you for that.
All right. Thank you, John. And I'm going to skip down to the turkey trot. If you're going to be eating all that food, start your day on Thanksgiving Day with a turkey trot. How far are we going? 1, 2, or 3 laps. So you have an option. 9 o'clock on Thanksgiving morning. I think it's a great way to start the day. Turkey trot here at Matthews Glen. I love it. My plan is to be here. My daughter's flying in, so I'm hopeful that she comes in that morning. So
Gobble, gobble, baby. Gobble, gobble.
that's right. That's right. Yes, I was throwing it. Right. Wow, I really got into it. I wanted to give an update on the main entrance gate. As you know, we've had some difficulties when they were paving. There was some damage done to the wiring, so the gates are not able to go up and down. We are in the process of getting 3 bids. It does take us longer than I would like it to take, but I want to do due diligence because this is going to be a costly endeavor. We want to make sure that we get the right person in here to get it corrected. So we're in the process of doing that. I do not have a fixed date at this point. We have the Halloween event coming up next Tuesday, 11 a.m., right, Carrie? 11 a.m. in the pavilion side, correct? Excellent. So I hope that you all will get dressed up, and we're also having a pumpkin contest. The team members are doing that, so you'll be able to see some decorated pumpkins we hope to have out next week as we get into the spirit of what's going on. We are excited that we did receive the Oak Bridge Terrace licensing, so we are very, very excited about that. That has happened since our last meeting, and we have been successfully moving new residents in. I think we're at 6 right now. And we also got the licensing for Butterfly Ridge, which is our memory care and assisted living, and that has been going along very well. And I see Susan back there. Am I right on 6 upstairs? Am I right on that 6? 7. Yes. So we've got admissions rolling in, so we're 7 in the new area, which is really exciting. So appreciate the teams coming together and helping residents to move through. I know, and I appreciate the patience that everyone has had, because it did certainly take us a lot longer than we had anticipated, but now we are open and ready to roll. And life engagement, just to, it's going to be Carrie for a little bit, and just please, if you have room reservations or questions about life engagement, direct them to Carrie. We are supporting her right now for the next few weeks. And that is it. I have some questions that I'm going to read. Do you remember the first? Hold on. Can I do the questions?
Mine's a question about the prior screen. You mentioned that the turkey trot was 1, 2, or 3 laps.
Yes.
I'd like to know laps of what?
Laps around Ring Road.
The Pavilion Ring Road.
Yes.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. So I hope to see you there that morning.
Paul will be there.
Excellent. So you might remember, I think the first couple of times doing this, I had several pages. Well, this is what I got so far. So I don't know if we're doing something right or if you just have quieted down. I don't know, but we've only got a few questions. The first one, are dogs allowed in the lower level of the clubhouse? We really ask residents to not bring dogs into the clubhouse at all, upstairs and downstairs. Please explain how deep into administration do the appreciation funds go? Well, I reached out to the resident association because the resident association is the one that manages this whole project of the staff appreciation funds. And the response was all administration staff, with the exception of the executive director and general manager, director of hospitality, receive gifts. The department heads get a smaller percentage of the total gifts. I kind of paraphrase that a little bit, but they get a smaller percentage. But that is all decided by the resident association. That is not decided by Matthews Glen staff. And there was a question to get an update on the gazebo project, which we did earlier in the presentation. So now, questions. We've got Dan. Dan just walked in. Come on, we got to have something for Dan. Yes.
My question is, I currently was on the test pilot for the Echo. Will I have to get a new unit, or will that be retrofitted, or
It should be totally fine, and whatever changes that we do will automatically be done on our end, and you should not affect you at all. So those that receive it will not get a different one. You will still use the same one. Good question. I should have said that before.
When are you guys going to announce that the increase for next year is flat?
The letters regarding the increases should come out on November 1st. That's typically, usually October 31st to November 1st. So next week. That's the standard, yes.
We finally have this beautiful fountain in the large pond. The question is, when will we have the other fountain going in the middle pond?
Thank you very much. Good question, Max. We'll have to do a price increase. There'll be dredging required for the small pond. So one is good. The group says one is good. No, after construction is complete, we will dredge out the first pond.
So it is in the budget.
Yes.
Can I ask this so that it's on the video of either Dan or John? Can you tell the residents how many work orders have been completed so far this year?
Sure, I can. So as of Monday morning, 9,316 work orders have been completed by the maintenance team, which is pretty incredible. For the month of October, it was around 516 as of Monday, with still many more that come and go, and some of them depend on how long they take or what the project is, but the maintenance team has done a great job of plowing through, and we're continuing to work on communication of what happens when you put in a request, when you should hear something. So we're continuing to work through that with the House Committee to find an alignment of communication.
How many of the 9,300 are light bulb replacements?
9,400.
Catherine, your predecessor told us in maybe May that they hope to have 4 guest apartments by the end of the summer. I wonder if you've had any progress on that, or could you give us the status of guest apartment availability?
We are, and we're in the process of, I think we have 3 available right now and another one under construction. They're all going to be the same style, so it's all one suite area. I don't remember. Dan, do you remember when that one will be done? I'm not sure off the top of my head.
11/17, I think, is turnover.
So you think it's very soon, very soon. Yes.
If you're not allowing dogs into the clubhouse, could we have signs on the doors?
Sure.
There is someone who has been bringing a dog in.
Sure, not a problem.
Any updates on Patrick Pachucky and the twins?
No, but I did talk to Patrick briefly the other day. He's doing well. That I can tell you that. He had called about something else that's going on, and he seems happy. He likes it there, and things are going well. I didn't ask about his twins though. They're going to be Slinky dogs for Halloween. There we go.
And they just turned 2.
That's great. That's great. Good question.
I was just wondering if there was any way to get the word to some of the workers here, because when they eat lunch over on the pavilion side at one of the picnic tables, they throw their chicken bones, and I've pulled 4 out of my dog's mouth.
Ooh.
And thank goodness he's small enough that I could get the end of it, but it's usually near the the picnic areas, but I did get one over near the pavilion, smaller pond, so that wasn't even around where they would normally eat. So I don't know if there's any way.
So I'm not sure. We certainly can pass on to employees that they should not be, dispose of food properly. And I would also encourage residents to do the same.
Yeah, and I'm not just blaming, but I've just, where I found 3 of them is where some of the workers were. So anyway, but I have let it be known.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for mentioning that. We can certainly pass that word on.
Just to go a little bit further on the question about the fee increase, nobody knows what it's going to be because the Board of Directors has not voted on it yet. That action will take place, I believe it's tomorrow.
Yes.
So, rumors are a dime a dozen. Just shut the rumors out until you hear it officially.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, we should be able to get that information out next week, which will be good. All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you for being here. Next time I'm going to have to do something about these front seats, but I appreciate you being here. Have a great rest of the day. I look forward to seeing you around campus. Thank you.